This is Andy Purewal for ID Boxing. It is always a pleasure, always an honour to be joined by ring legend Roy Jones Jr. over Zoom. Roy, I always have to pinch myself slightly when you just reply to my messages, never mind when you jump on Zoom. How's life treating you?
Life treat me good, man. I can't complain.
I'm glad to hear it. Before we come on to one topic which has just come out today, I want to start off with yourself. Obviously, you returned to the ring recently. Didn't get the decision you wanted, but walk me back through your fight with Anthony Pettis.
Well, the whole thing is like people don't understand that. First of all, how many people at 54 can get themselves in shape and go 8 rounds with anybody? You understand me? It was an incredible thing, but it was to inspire those who think that they're too old or they're too heavy or that they're too old to put their minds back to work. No, you're not. It's all about what's in your mind. Now, no, don't go out and be stupid. I'm not going to go out and challenge B-Ball or nobody like that. That's stupid because I'm too old for that. But you can go out and fight fights that make sense. And you can make good fights that make sense because they're competitive fights that make sense. Now, the second thing is Chris had a problem, and I know we're going to this topic in a minute, but Chris had a problem with the weight last time that really bothered me because in my day, I made weight one way. Today, they make weight a new way. And most people won't understand this, but here are the facts. If you don't do it yourself, you can't really explain to them how to do it because you don't know how it feels. You don't know how it affects you, and you don't know how it's going to affect them or how it should feel to them. So I wanted to go force myself. I started out, I was 225, nearly 230. I wanted to get down to 200 pounds. I had 4 weeks to do it. No drugs, no nothing. Just do it myself, mentally and physically. Put myself down fasting, just fasting. Got down to 207. Water loaded, which is a new thing they do to make weight, and went up to 210. Dropped the water down, tried the salt bath, got all the way back down to 199.1 in 4 weeks, from probably 227. 4 weeks. So now I understand how that all works. I didn't understand it before because that's not how I made weight back in my day. So to upgrade myself today as a coach, as far as making weight, I had to go through this process so that now I understand it. You understand me? And I understand it thoroughly. Now, the apple or the cherry on the cake is now that saw myself and Pettis had a pretty competitive fight, which I thought I won. Most of the critics thought I won. I thought I controlled the fight after round 2 completely. But we ain't worried about that. I'm 54 years old. What do I care about? You understand me? I do always want to win, don't get it wrong, and I'm always coming to win. But if they don't give it to me, I'm not gonna call it still. Same thing happened to me in the Olympics. Since my career started. All it does is pushes me to go harder the next time. So if there's a rematch, since they're giving all this money away now, you got them giving people like Jake Paul Jake Paul $25 million to fight an exhibition, which ain't a real fight in Dubai. I should be able to get 50 then, right? I mean, that's just my thinking. If he can get 25, I'm a Hall of Famer. And I got a competitive opponent that they just gave a decision on me last time. So you know what I'm gonna do to him next time. It's a no-brainer, right? Secondly, even Mayweather, he came over here and fought, but the people over here don't want exhibitions. If it ain't real, they don't want it. So when he tried it here, it didn't work, but they giving him upwards to 7 million and above to fight exhibitions against guys who have never fought in Dubai. Once again, I'm not trying to do that, and I'm not knocking his hustle. That's what they do. That's what they do. I'm not knocking Jake Paul hustle. But if you can do that, you can't give a Hall of Famer, a legend, that kind of money to fight a real fight, a competitive fight, and who still shows that not only that, he can go 8 rounds, he can make the weight, he can do it all at 54 years old. If that ain't inspirational enough, what is? So if they give me the money for the rematch, cool. If they don't, I'm not tripping. It's not what I'm here for. I want to do a lot of things, but the main thing was I wanted to upgrade my knowledge as a coach. The only thing I didn't have that I wasn't completely knowledgeable of as a coach was the water loading, which I did this time, and the Epsom salt bath, which I did this time. Now I have those things added to me. Now I'm completely upgraded as a coach.
Roy, just a couple of things to pick up on there. As you mentioned the weight making process and how things have changed from when you used to fight back in your heyday compared to now. Is it a surprise to you by just how much boxing's evolved on that front?
Yes, it is, because I know the MMA helped it out too, because those are the guys who started these water loads and with the Epsom salt bath. So that also brought added knowledge to it. But yes, it surprised me completely how much things have changed, because I was worried about myself, because like I told you, well, I didn't tell you, but last year around Father's Day, I suffered from rhabdo. I had been out fishing all day Friday. I went to a fight Saturday night just to watch boxing. Sunday morning, I got up and cooked my son some of the fish that I caught Friday, and I immediately went downhill. And I honestly thought I was going to die. And I'm not training for no fight. I'm not doing nothing. I went fishing. That's all. I thought I was going to die from rhabdo. I know now that rhabdo is real. I had never heard of it before, but now I know it's real. Anyway, another guy, Victor Ortiz, somebody just pulled out of a fight because he had it. It's real. But I almost died from that. So when the fight thing came along, I wanted to try it, but I thought about it. And I was like, if you get dehydrated and that rhabdo come back, you're not going to be able to do nothing. So I was scared, completely scared. But then when I thought about the water loading, which is something I need to learn too, if I water load, then how can I really dehydrate myself? So if I water load, that shit fixed that dehydration problem. Guess what? Bam, fixed it. I didn't dehydrate.
Roy, let's obviously get into it then. You mentioned Chris Eubank Jr. earlier, and you made a point. Let's just go back to the first fight before we come on to this imminent rematch. I know yourself and the team and Junior haven't really spoken much about it since. So firstly, just reflect on it for me on the weight making process. An interesting point you made there that Junior struggled to make the 160 limit.
Yeah, I didn't get into it because I knew he was going to try the salt bath and stuff. And I was not knowledgeable to the salt bath, Epsom salt bath. So I knew nothing about it. You understand me? So I really kind of just stayed away from that, because if I don't know, I let the experts who probably do know or who profess to know, I let them do it. Come to find out at the end of the day, nobody really knew it because nobody had ever done it before. They all heard about it and heard about people who did it, but none of them had did it. So I said, now I feel bad, because there's one phase of the game that I really couldn't help him with. And I felt like when he jumped over in the ring, I didn't like how his legs looked. And I was like, dang it, man, maybe this weight thing took some out of him. I don't know. Then when the elbow hit him and hurt him, and then the punch knocked him down, I was like, wow, maybe he lost too much weight in that bath. So I was right then kind of messed up and angry about the Epsom salt bath, because I didn't understand what had happened, how it worked. I didn't know nothing about it. So it really intrigued me to go figure it out, but I wasn't gonna just figure it out on my own. I'm not gonna sit around the house and hop in the Epsom salt bathtub and see how much weight I lose. It's just not something I'm gonna do. But when I schedule a fight, or somebody decide they want to fight me, and it's a guy that I know is a former MMA guy, he can't be more knowledgeable than me in boxing. Only thing he has on me is youth. And if I can protect myself, he can't really cause me no problem. But it gives me an opportunity to go figure out how this salt bath works. So I took full advantage of an opportunity, and it was the best thing that could have happened for me. I am more happier about the knowledge that I got from the process than I am about the outcome of the process. The whole process, win, lose, or draw, was worth it for me.
Roy,
made me a better friend.
Roy, for Junior, obviously getting to the 160 limit previously and now once again, have you had any conversations about it since? And will he be comfortable or will he not be comfortable making it? Because it was a big talking point after, as you're mentioning now, how he felt and how he didn't feel like his legs looked good. A lot of people maybe felt he struggled, and we didn't see that granite chin that we're used to seeing from him.
Yeah, that's what bothered me, because I'm used to also seeing that granite chin, and I didn't see it, and that's why I knew something was wrong. And like I said, I can't attest to everything that happened, because I kind of avoided the whole situation because I didn't understand enough about it. But it intrigued me enough that made me want to go back and do it myself, so I could become more knowledgeable as I had to help him with that process in the next time. Now I got it, I know how it goes.
So now, so you're more understanding on the weight from than Roy. What would you put down the defeat to Liam Smith last time out to?
Well, I mean, it was a lot of different things. A lot of things leading up to the fight. It was a lot of different things that happened. But truthfully speaking, we also didn't follow the protocol, because the protocol was not to go out and fight the way we fought. The protocol was something totally different, but we didn't follow the protocol. And if we don't follow the protocol, anything could happen. And that was mentioned in the gym too.
What exactly did you want to see from Junior in the first fight?
I don't really want to talk about it now, because they're gonna fight again, so it doesn't really make sense. But he didn't do what we wanted to see, what we trained to do, what we worked on, and what our mindset had been put to be. We didn't do that, so hopefully
I'm
we
sure.
get it right.
Roy, I'm sure you saw the comments yourself where some people were critical of your work and relationship with Junior, because obviously you've got a very different style to what, until you teamed up with Junior, we'd been used to seeing from him. What did you make of anyone who critiqued yourself and kind of if you two were a good match or not?
They can critique me all they want. It's like for the first 3 fights I had with him, everybody gave him nothing but praise for the improvement that he had made. One loss when he really kind of deviated away from what my plan was for him anyway. One loss, they want to blame me for everything, and it's cool. I'll take the blame. I'm the coach. I'll take the blame. But at the same time, it's like I commend him because I know what he was doing. He wanted to go out and prove that the second aspect of his game has gotten that much better, that he could do that too. It's just that, like I said to him, Liam is a better fighter than he thought Liam is, I think. And Liam is not a guy you want to let be comfortable, because if Liam is comfortable, then we'll give you a hard time. He let Liam stay comfortable too long, and Liam gave him a hard time. So it's like, we knew that, we talked about that, but I don't think he really believed that. But you got to remember, when a guy has never been knocked down, never been knocked out, it's hard to tell that guy about taking punches. And so, like I said, I'll never forget it, because there were days in gym when I would say things to him and he would have a rebuttal. And I can't say that because he never been knocked down, knocked out. So I can't say that. But now that has changed. I can say something now because now he sees that this can happen to anybody. So before it happened to a person, like if a person never fell off of a bike before, you can't tell them how it feels or dangerous. You can tell them dangerous, but they won't listen because they never fell before. So they don't even put that in their mind. But once they fall, now they understand, oh, now I see what you're talking about. Yes, so now it creates an even better relationship and an even better situation, because now they know that they should take heed to every little thing you say. Some things don't seem like much, but every little thing counts.
Roy, was there anything specific when you watched the fight that you was more so impressed by or caught your eye from Liam Smith's side of things?
No, I know Liam. Liam was a constant professional. He was gonna come to win. I knew that already. I mean, it's like me and Russ Amber are good friends, and me and Russ talk a lot. And I knew from what Russ was saying that the guy was coming to bring his best. And truly speaking, I knew already, just because of the situation, that both of their games should rise. Chris should risen his game, and Liam should risen his game. The only thing was, I think Chris a little bit maybe have a slightly underestimated Liam, and he didn't really worry about rising his game. I think he thought he was good enough just where he was. But Liam took it as, hey, we fighting for number one spot in this country. He took his game up, and that's what the outcome was.
But Junior, was obviously a lot of pressure on his shoulders. There was a lot of talks about what could be next if he'd have won. The kind of Ben fight was being mentioned. Kind of Ben fight was still being mentioned, to be fair, until Liam confirmed to me today that the Junior fight will happen again. Is it on his mind at all that a second defeat, it could be hard to bounce back from?
No, I think what's on his mind is rectifying what he did wrong last time. I think he understood everything that happened wrong for him last time. He understood the training camp situation. He understood the weight situation. He understood all those things. Sometimes all the stars just line up right or wrong for you. All the stars line up kind of wrong for him, and all the stars line up kind of right for Liam at the time. So what happened, happened. But now is his opportunity to come back and show us how much love he still has for the sport, how much he wants to continue to go on in the sport, and how bad he wants the victory. And I know he wants it bad because he's a winner.
Roy, listening to you speak since we started this interview, it's clear that you yourself learned a lot as a coach, especially on the weight making front. Throughout your entire career as an actual fighter and as a coach now, do you feel like this is one of the most learning type fights that you've had throughout your entire career?
As a coach, yes. As a coach, most definitely. But like I said, I needed it, because until I had a fighter go through something like that, it wasn't going to change my thought train of making weight. Now my thought train has totally been changed. And I didn't, like I said, I didn't force him to do it my way, because I know he's never going to want to do it my way, because my old way was a bit crazy compared to nowadays. So I understand now even more why he wouldn't want to do it my way. But now I do understand the way that they do it. And it's totally a different thing. And now to put that in my game is going to make me much better, even as a coach.
One final thing on the weight front, was there anything raised to you before the weigh-in, after the weigh-in on Junior's behalf, or did he look okay at that point?
I was still worried about him the whole time, to be honest, because I knew how much he was struggling. And it's just I was worried about his legs the whole time because I knew what it was. I could kind of see it, and I just didn't like how the legs looked right away. But now, like I said, with that salt bath, that kind of probably was in my head too. So it could have been, sometimes when you think something, you think you see more than you really see. May have not even been that way, but because I knew how much he was struggling with the weight and how everybody was complaining about the salt bath, it kind of got to me too. So when I saw him jump in the ring, I said, okay, but I don't like how his legs look, but maybe this is just me. So I didn't say much. But now in hindsight, I think it could have been some of that too, but you can't take the victory away from Liam Smith. He did what he had to do. He got the victory. So that's that. Now it's on to the next. Now I go win out of myself and did what I need to do to learn it and know how to do it the right way now. But this time that part of it won't be a problem. I got it now.
So let's say if you come to fight week this time around and you see any of the same scenarios developing between your eyes in terms of the weight making front, will there be more of a conscious decision at all to maybe stop Junior from fighting, or do you think that would be an extreme thing for me to say?
Stopping Junior from fight would be an extreme thing for you to say. I just told you I came from 230 to 200 in 4 weeks. Nothing gonna stop nobody else from fighting that I deal with. He don't fight because they don't want to fight, not because they can't make the weight. Because I know how to do it now. I did it myself. For what? So I can teach them how to do it now. Lead by example.
Roy, in the first fight, Junior was adamant he wanted the KO. In this fight, has he sent the same message to you? As he said to you, like, listen, I want to get in the ring. I want to rectify the defeat, but I also want that stoppage.
Hasn't said a word. All he said was he's sure he'll probably fight in June, and he think it'll be Liam Smith again. I said, okay, cool. Let me know. And he said he probably want to set up camp somewhere in the United States. I don't know, but whatever he want to do, we're gonna do it.
At what point did he officially confirm? Like I say, I went up to see Liam Smith today. He's confirmed the fight with me. But at what point did he confirm with you, this is Junior, that it would be Liam Smith instead of Conor Benn? Because there was a lot of talk around that fight as well.
I think he told me last Thursday or Friday. So yeah.
What would have been your preference as a coach, the Smith rematch or Benn?
Come on, man. Smith rematch. Come on, brother. I mean, if you're a winner, you want to win. You ain't gonna go take a loss, then go do something else. Nah, that ain't how it go. If you're a winner, you gotta bro. I'm old school, you forgot. Y'all must have forgot. You lose, you gotta go try to get that back first. You won't get that back, then you go on. But you gotta try to get that back first. You don't lose and walk away. Oh, I lost. Okay, let's go make the money. No. Let's go win first. Then we gotta win again because it's 1-1. If we win the second time, which we should do. Win one time, unless we just beat it. Well, no, because he took us out the first time. So if we take him out, we still even. So no matter how it goes, we almost said, well, we got to do it the third time. And once we finish that, then we go talk about Conor Benn, in my opinion. That's what I want to see happen. I wouldn't want to see Conor Benn right away, because if we took Conor Benn right away, that looks like we admitting to defeat to Liam Smith. And we almost saying, okay, we can't beat Liam, so we'll go fight Smith. Go fight Conor. And we're not saying that. I don't think.
So was it a surprise to you when there were so many reports, and I imagine Junior had these conversations with you about a Conor Benn fight?
No. He never had one conversation with me about Conor Benn, and I didn't even hear the report because I live in the United States of America. So I don't listen to what goes on over here until he called me and tell me. So I didn't hear none of the reports about Benn, and I didn't want to hear no reports about Benn. And when he finally texted me, I asked him what's next. He said, we're going to probably fight Liam Smith again in June. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. I didn't want to hear all the other stuff, and I didn't listen to all the other stuff because for me, like I said, that would have been kind of crazy for me, because why are we fighting Conor and we ain't finished this Smith situation yet?
Final thing on it, before I get your thoughts on a couple of other topics. In that first fight, after it came out that a report was being considered being put in and a complaint to the board about an elbow on Liam Smith's behalf to Junior. Did you feel like that was the case?
It's on camera. You can see it. I mean, it's part of boxing, so you can't really complain and say it's weight loss. But it definitely happened. But I'm not going to blame the loss on that, but it definitely happened, yes. But, I mean, it is what it is. This is boxing. And boxing, things like that happen. Thumbs in the eye, cuts, all these type things happen. Elbows, all these type things happen. So you can't blame a loss in boxing on something like that. But that did happen. But we're not going to blame the loss on that. We're just going to take it in stride and let's get back on the horse and keep going.
Right, Roy, just before I let you go, I've a few other topics to get your thoughts on. Last weekend, we saw the return of Anthony Joshua. What did you make of his ring return, Roy?
Um, you know, it's hard to really say. I didn't watch a lot of it. I saw the first couple of rounds and I kind of tuned out because I was kind of in my own thing. But we'll see. Sometimes it takes time for a fighter and trainer to get their whole act back together. It don't happen right away. Apparently that didn't happen right away. So maybe if they stay together again, maybe they'll finally get some continuity. But they definitely didn't get in that first fight. So we look and see. Hopefully, if they get better as they go as a team, which most time it takes a fight or two before things really kick in and they get on the same page. So hopefully within the next couple of fights they'll get together a little bit better and they'll start to gel. In that fight, they didn't gel much at all.
Roy, I know you're saying that you never watched much of it, but by the end of the fight, a lot of people were suggesting over social media that maybe AJ was too gun shy or too worried about what might be thrown back at him as a former fighter and somebody who's still actually getting into the ring yourself now. Do you see any of that within Anthony Joshua? And if so, how do you get them back to not being as worried about what's coming back at them?
When you say it's coming back in, you mean the punches?
Yes.
Well, I mean, you know, it's hard to say for him because we are different people. I understand how he thinks, and I understand how I think and how we think is two different people. So you got to build a defense and a fighter so that he's confident about what's coming back at him. And the only way he's gonna be confident about this, he got to go through that over and over and over again and train him until you get confident. If that don't happen, he won't get confident. But it all depends on what's in the back of his mind too. We don't really know what's in the back of his mind, and we really don't know how bad he wants it again yet. So until we see all that, like I said, and gel with a new coach, it takes time. You can't just gel with a new coach right away all the time. Sometimes it takes time. So we gotta see where they build from not that fight, but for the next fight forward, we'll see where they go, and we'll be able to tell if it's a great marriage or not.
Speaking of the next fight, Anthony Joshua put on social media that instead of returning in 3 months' time, he's going to look to return in December. Your thoughts on him taking such an extended break from his first fight with Derek James up and waiting till the end of the year?
Gives him more time to gel. Like I said, it gives him much more time to gel as a coach and fighter, and gives them a chance to get on the same page, same sheet of music. Now with that extra time, they can kind of get more on the same sheet of music, and next time we should see a more improved Anthony Joshua.
Now, on that note as well, in terms of opponents, a report came out earlier that in Saudi Arabia they're proposing a deal whereby Fury Usyk fight, Joshua Wilder fight, and then the winners face each other in the end. What would be your thoughts if AJ decided to face Deontay Wilder next?
Oh, it's very tough. Very tough fight for him. I don't know. It's just a tough fight for him. I love AJ Death. I think he's a great fighter. I like Wilder a little bit. I think Fury is still probably the top of the class. I think him and Usyk are the top two of the class, and it shows because they're the two wearing the belts right now. But AJ and then with punches coming back at him, like you said, if that's the issue, then you don't want to fight Wilder right now because those punches coming at you from him are different from anybody else in the division. So, we got to get that. He got to get that taken care of before he goes in front of Wilder.
And then just dropping down quite a few weights there to the lightweight division. Next weekend, we see a phenomenal fight between Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. I just want to get a breakdown from you, Roy. What do you expect to see next Saturday night?
First of all, my hat goes out to both fighters for taking those type of fights at times like this. They're not caring about their oaths. They're caring about what the fans want to see. And I applaud them for giving the fans what they want to see. I think it's a great fight for both fighters. Tank has a lot more tools than people think Tank has. Garcia is a much better fighter than people think Garcia is. Now, Garcia has been dropped by Taylor, who's not a bad fighter either. But we know if Taylor can drop him, then we think Tank can drop him. But how much punishment will Tank endure before he drops? So it's like if he drops. So the point is like who can get their game plan or the game plan in action first. If Garcia can get comfortable boxing Tank and keep Tank on the outside, Garcia can win the fight. If he gets comfortable and relaxes or runs low on energy late in the fight, because when Tank get behind, he knows how to become a dog and just come start walking you down. If he gets to that point without too much damage, then he may catch Garcia. So it's a you pick 'em fight. Garcia should jump out in the early lead, but Tank should come on in the later part of the fight. Will Garcia be able to hang on to that lead, or will Tank be able to catch him in the end? That's what makes it such an intriguing fight. That's what fight fans want to know. That's why we want to see fights like this. It's a beautiful fight for boxing, a beautiful fight for the fans, one that I'm applauding both guys for taking, and I can't wait because it's a new pick. Either guy can win the fight, and I can't wait to see who wins.
You have Tank Ryan, you have Haney Lomachenko lined up as well, Shakur Stevenson at 135. Out of all of the younger ones, excluding Loma, despite his incredible ability, who do you get excited by the most? Who gets you out of your seat the most?
All of them get me out of my seat. Haney gets me out of my seat because of his boxing IQ. Shakur gets me out of my seat because of his actual footwork, and he's a technician with his footwork in his hands. Loma gets me out of my seat still because of how much of a technician he is. And Tank gets me out of my seat because he can box, but he's also an awesome puncher. So everybody has their own little gimmick that gets me going. All four of them, I think, are top-notch fighters. I love to see all four of them fight, and I love the fact that they're about to fight each other. That's even better. We're all five because Garcia's in that group too.
I was going to leave it on there, Roy, but I've just had an email come through saying that Jake Paul is going to fight Nate Diaz on Saturday, August 5th. I just want to get your take of him deciding to do that instead of looking for the Tommy Fury rematch.
I mean, like I said, he's the guy that came into boxing and he's learning boxing. So apparently he feels like from the Tommy Fury fight that he hasn't got enough boxing yet to go back and rematch with Tommy Fury. So he wants to go do something else first to get himself a little bit more experience. Then he'll probably come back to Tommy Fury. He has a different reason. He's different from Eubank. He ain't a first out boxer. He's a guy who turned boxer, who took boxing late in his life, and because he was a YouTube sensation, he became popular. So now he's trying to learn the craft of boxing. And sometimes you got to take a step back in order to take a step forward in what he's doing. Chris is a world-renowned fighter already, a former world champion already. Chris is a guy that he ain't got time to go waste time with guys that he know he can beat. He got to come back and get what he lost. He got to come try to get that back first. He ain't got time. It ain't a learning thing for him. He already knows what it takes to win this fight.
Right, Roy, we'll leave that there now because I know you've got a session on the horizon this evening. I appreciate you jumping on to do this. It's a pleasure as always. I'm sure I'll see you at the announcement press conference when that comes around for the rematch. So thank you for speaking to me.
Thank you. And I got Archie Sharp fighting this weekend over here. What's the name? Friday. I know Friday. What's the name of it? York Hall. Archie fighting Friday in York Hall. My first fight with Archie. So I'm looking forward to that.
Let's touch on that, Roy. Very quickly touch on that, Roy, before I let you go. I completely forgot about Archie. How are you finding working with him?
Huh?
How are you finding working with Archie?
You love working with Archie. Archie's a guy that wants to learn and wants to get better. That's all I want in boxing. Guys that want to learn and guys that want to get better. I don't profess that my style was the perfect style, was the best for everybody, but I know so much about boxing that you can't go wrong with me teaching because I just know a lot. I've been through and done a lot. How many guys, like I said, at 54 years old still can go 8 rounds? You tell me. I don't care who it's with. How many guys you know still go a comfortable, cool, hard-working 8 rounds? It ain't going to happen. So I got to be a freak of nature, if nothing else. But I got the IQ and the knowledge that goes with me being a freak of nature. How can I not teach you? So if you listen to what I teach, and I should tell you too, anybody that has been in the gym with me that understands or got anything out of what I teach would tell you that it almost seems like a genius. I don't want to call myself that, but I know so much, man. It's unbelievable. So it's been phenomenal working with Archie because Archie wants to better himself. And I love that in fights.
Roy, you may not want to call yourself a genius, but I'll call you a genius for you. Just the final one on Archie. He's obviously got ambitions to challenge for world honors. He's highly ranked within the WBO, especially. Do you expect to see him do the fighter you see in the gym? Is he a world level fighter?
He's definitely a world class fighter, without a question. Without a question. Just a matter of him getting the opportunity. He stayed ranked #1 by the WBO, I think, for like damn near 2 years and never got a shot. I mean, I understand with COVID coming in too, but still, it's like last fight, I think the guy that was supposed to fight for the belt got hurt. The #1 guy, he probably was sitting at #2, and they go to the #3 guy, skip right over him. It's just politics in the game, you know. It's a tough game. But I think after this fight, he wins the fight Friday. Then I think I'll try to call Jose Suleiman and ask Suleiman to consider putting him in the rankings of the WBC because Suleiman seems to be a very fair guy. And we'll see what happens.
Right, oh, Roy, we will now leave it there. I'll leave you to enjoy your evening and the late session you have coming up. Thank you for speaking to me. Always a pleasure, and I will see you soon.
Thank you, my brother.